I catfished my wife and watched her walk into a hotel room to cheat on me. Hey everyone, welcome back to Breakup Cheater, where the truth cuts deeper than fiction. Find a quiet place, pour your favorite drink and buckle up. Tonight's story. It's one of betrayal, deception, and a devastating discovery I never thought I'd witness with my own eyes. I'm Ethan, 37. The woman at the center of all this. We'll call her Marissa, she's 35. But this story doesn't start with her. It starts with Lucas, her husband and my best friend since we were toddlers trading crayons in kindergarten. Lucas and I have lived parallel lives. Same classes, same baseball teams, even stood side by side at each other's weddings. When he married Marissa, I was his best man. When their daughters were born, he named me godfather. That's how close we were. So what happened next felt like someone yanked the ground out from under me. It started on a rainy Thursday night. Around 8:30 my phone lit up. Marissa. I answered and immediately heard sobs. Choked, frantic, hysterical. Between broken gasps she said, "They arrested him. They took Lucas." I couldn't process it. Arrested. Lucas. The guy coaches Little League, hosts church BBQs, and runs a modest but honest renovation company. Jail was the last place anyone would expect to find him. Marissa was too upset to explain much. I told her to stay put and drove straight to Central Precinct. Luckily, I still had a few connections from my early days as a juvenile officer. I hadn't worn the badge in years, but some of the old crew still sent me Christmas cards. At the front desk was Captain Ray Delaney, a stocky guy with a bright red mustache you could spot from a mile away. He gave me a bear hug and said, "Ethan, what brings you in this late?" I told him Lucas was in holding and I needed answers. Ray called out to his desk sergeant. "We got a Miller in the tank." The reply came back, "Yes, sir. Domestic dispute. Wife called it in. Said he hit her." I felt the world tilt sideways. Lucas. Lay a hand on Marissa. The same man who once toasted her in front of 50 people saying, "To my soulmate, my sunshine." Ray read the disbelief on my face. He placed a steady hand on my shoulder and said, "Even good men can snap, Ethan. I've seen it more times than I'd like." Asked to see Lucas. Ray leaned in and whispered, "Come back after midnight when the brass clears out. Bring food." So I did. At 11:45, I walked back in carrying a bag of smoky ribs, sweet cornbread, and a bottle of Tennessee's finest. Ray grinned, called it a proper peace offering, and had the break room cleared out. A few minutes later, Lucas shuffled in. He looked older than his 35 years, hunched, eyes bloodshot, hands shaking. Captain Ray poured out 3 stiff drinks and left us alone. I leaned in and asked, "What happened, man? Tell me you didn't hit her." Lucas stared at the table, jaw clenched. Then finally, in a voice I barely recognized, he said, "Yeah, I hit her. And I shouldn't have. But part of me feels like I didn't hit her hard enough." The room went silent. I forced myself to breathe. "Talk. All of it. Start from the top." Lucas nodded slowly. "You know how much I loved her. Hell, everything I did for her and the girls. When my business started doing well, she quit her job to focus on the house and the kids. I supported it. No questions asked. But then she got sucked into her phone. Social media. TikTok dances. Instagram filters. Mommy forums. She spent more time talking to strangers online than to me." His hands trembled around the glass. "One night, I don't know why, I made a fake dating profile. Just for laughs, I told myself. Named him Reed. Entrepreneur. Divorced. 2 kids. I used a few older pictures of myself from back in college. I liked her photos. Left flirty comments. 10 feet away from her in the den, while she scrolled in bed. 3 nights later she messaged me. Reed. Me. She said she liked my vibe. Said her husband, me again, was a good man but not the man of her dreams. I kept the charade going. Told her Reed felt the same. Every night we chatted. I asked if she ever thought about cheating. She said maybe. If the right guy tempted her. I told her. Tomorrow, 7 p.m. Hotel Fairmont, room 206. She replied within seconds. What should I wear? Lucas looked up at me, shattered. She used the perfume I gave her for our anniversary. Said she was meeting a friend for coffee. I watched her walk into that hotel like it was a second honeymoon. For her and Reed. He paused. I followed. Sat at the bar. Waited until she went up. Then I knocked. The guy answered, some poor sap she planned to cheat with. I decked him. Hard. Marissa screamed. I lost it. I hit her. One swing. Security pulled me off. Cops cuffed me. And now here I am. Ray returned with more whiskey. Food's getting cold, gentlemen, he said. Then added in a low voice. Here's the deal. If she files a full statement, gets medical records, the DA presses charges. If she doesn't, we sweep it under the rug and he walks out by noon. No second chances. Ray left, and Lucas drained his glass. I spent a decade calling her my angel, he whispered. Now I'm the villain of her story. I promised I'd try. By dawn I was at Marissa's door. Her face was bruised, purple raw. She opened it with eyes full of guilt, not fear. Before she could speak I said, if you press charges, Lucas goes to prison. If you don't, we figure out the rest later. She crumbled. I didn't want him in jail, she said through tears. I wanted something different. And I destroyed everything instead. She signed the no complaint form. Declined the hospital visit. By noon Lucas was a free man. But freedom doesn't erase betrayal. A week later he filed for divorce. Moved into a 2-bedroom condo. The kids now split weekends. Marissa deleted every account, started therapy, and drives past that hotel twice a day. A permanent monument to the night she lost her marriage for a thrill that never even happened. As for me, I learned that trust is like a thin sheet of glass. Once fractured it might still stand, but the cracks never disappear. Thanks for sticking around for this wild ride. If this story struck a nerve, hit like, share your thoughts in the comments, and subscribe for more tales that'll leave your jaw on the floor. And remember, protect the hearts that trust you, and keep both fists unclenched. See you in the next story.